pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now there's the approval of the agenda and approval of the minutes. The minutes were two sets.
Yes, that's right.
March the 12th and March the 26th, the call board meeting. Can I have a motion that we adopt the agenda and approval of both sets of minutes?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion, corrections, or deletions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify with that. Thank you very much. Information items. Dr. McMullen, you got some student and staff recognition.
We do. We've got quite a bit today, which again, this is one of our favorite parts of the meeting, and we will start with the Jefferson High School Winter Guard, silver medalist winners, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Nick Golding, our band director. And of course, Ms. Hardy, if she has any comments to make at the end, certainly feel free to do so. I know, a lot of them. All right, Mr. Golding, we'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, so this is the Jefferson High School Winter Guard, and if you're wondering what Winter Guard is, it's like the fall color guard you see, except for they're their own unit. So they have like a vinyl mat they perform on. Usually it's themed with the show. Typically they're like 60 by 90 feet. I think ours is like 50 by 60 because we rehearse in the cafeteria. But yeah, they rehearse to a soundtrack, and the work is a lot more involved than what you see in the fall. There's a lot more dance involved. The work is this year it's more difficult, more challenging. And the cool thing about this group is I think over the last 6 years or so, this group has been around 7, maybe 8 individuals in this little group. So, you know, they were competing and they were doing okay and kind of middle of the pack. This year, we brought on a new staff. We have Billy Pacifico, who is the guard director for the University of South Carolina and Western Carolina University. He's come on board with us. He's here 1 to 2 days a week this fall. Starting next year, he'll be with us 2 days a week the entire year. But he's been our designer, our choreographer, working with them. We brought on a Jefferson alumnus, Werner Fuller, who has been involved with Winter Guard International. He's competed at World Championships and made finals with them. So he's on our guard staff. And with these two gentlemen, it just breathed an entirely new life into our guard program. Half of these members have done it before. Half of them are brand new. They've never touched a flag before this season. And they had their most competitive season yet. I think this is the first time Jefferson High School has ever medaled at the SAPA Championships at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. SAPA is Southern Association for the Performing Arts. That is our, I think, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama. I think Lowndes came up. Lowndes is actually the one group that got 4 cents ahead of us. But Hoover, Alabama comes over, and so the girls were super competitive, and yeah, silver medalists for our circuit. So.
All right, do you want to introduce yourselves and tell us what grade you're in?
Oh. I am so sorry. So this year, we usually have a faculty sponsor who's with them, and Debbie Long stepped up this year. And I'm just giving all the facts. I'm sorry. And Debbie has stepped up, and this year she has done all of the logistical planning. So whenever they go to a competition, she builds a schedule. She makes sure that all of their needs have been taken care of. She's there after rehearsals in case somebody gets a scrape or gets hit with a rifle or a flag. She's seen it all, like the sprained ankles and all the other stuff. You can talk if you want, but she insisted that she not talk. But Debbie has been without Debbie this year would not have been nearly as successful as it was. So, and Warner.
I just honestly couldn't be more proud of these kids. Like Nick said, half of them are brand new to this sport, and this is not an easy thing to do. They make it look easy, but that's the point. And so that just goes to show you the work that you put in definitely paid off. And again, I couldn't be more proud of these kids, and I'm glad that they're getting recognized for it.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Virgil Kalita, and I'm in 9th grade. I'm Jade Nate Holt, and I'm in 10th grade. I'm Lily Chambers, and I'm in 10th grade. I'm McKinley Palm, I'm in 11th grade. I'm Caroline Whitaker, I'm in 11th grade. I'm Sadie Parker, I'm in 9th grade. I'm Caroline Goldie, I'm in 11th grade. I'm Marilyn Wilson, and I'm in 11th grade. I'm Maddie Graham, and I'm in 11th grade. I'm Eliana Ohana, and I'm in 9th grade. I'm Evelyn Reeves, and I'm in 10th grade. I'm Sophia Cheka, and I'm in 9th grade. I'm Ava Ruark, and I'm in 9th grade.
I'm Lily Figueroa, and I'm in 11th grade.
I'm Lucy Wheeler, and I'm in 12th grade.
I'm Haley Long, and I'm in 12th grade. I'm Kinsley Clapper, and I'm in 12th grade.
Great.
Congratulations, everyone.
Great job. Thank you.
Thank
I know, only 3 seats.
Sir.
Yeah.
All right, our next group, they have certainly been here quite a few times, so we will welcome them back in. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Great job. Yes. Congratulations. Yes. All right, there you go. Here comes the trophy. Nice to meet you. All right, Major Watson, Chief Willis, we're going to turn it over to you.
Well, thank y'all. It's great to be here. Really appreciate the opportunity to come out and recognize these young men and young women. This is our armed drill teams. As you know, they went up to nationals and finished number 2 overall, national champions in the exhibition category. So is that 3 years in a row now? 2? No, 2 years in a row.
2 years back to back, but
Back to
since
back.
2019, I mean, we've had several of those championships.
And extremely proud of what they accomplished. We actually had I'm not going to compare him to a quarterback over in Alabama many years ago because he's an Auburn fan, but you may recall many years ago a young man got pulled into at the half of a national championship football game, and the team won. And that's what happened to Noah Hanchy. He got pulled in January to command the armed exhibition team. A lot of stress, a lot of responsibility thrown on him, and he stood out. Did a great job, and I'm sure Chief's got some real good words to say about him too. But I was really proud of what happened, and mainly because he jumped in there and took over and made things happen for us.
Just kind of echoing what Major is saying, a tremendous compliment to Noah for stepping in. I mean, this is this guy's first time, like leading a team, and I mean, the intimidation of knowing, here's a team that's got multiple championships, and you've got these other guys, talking to him, telling him, doubting him, saying he's going to let this thing down. But he had some tremendous support from these guys standing around him, and that unity that this team has, and this enthusiasm, this performance that these guys were capable of just putting down out here. I mean, the result is what you're looking at right here, and I mean, I'm really proud of these guys right here, and the truth is that we've got a lot of young guys on this team. So, we continue to work hard. I mean, still got a little bit of stuff left, and I think we can probably go on and do some more. That's what I'm looking for. So, my compliments to you guys. And hey, we greatly just appreciate all the support that you guys have given us to help us do what we do with these kids. Trust me, Ms. Willis. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
And one other thing, Mr. Parker and Ms. Hardy, this year we had to do some number crunching. And unfortunately, the Air Force, that little government shutdown, cost us quite a bit of money back in the fall, but they stepped up and helped fund the team and make sure we got there. Miss Knight, not going to leave her out, but middle school allowed us to use their gym the last 2 weeks before we went up, so we'd be able to practice on a surface that we would compete on. So it's a big team effort for the entire school system, and very proud to be able to tell people that.
Thank you, Major. Let's have all of y'all introduce yourselves and tell us what grade you're in.
I'm Julie Fernandez. I'm Jenna Sanders. I'm a senior.
Emily Larson, I'm a junior.
Robert Moore, I'm a senior. Steven Demetrio, I'm a senior. Colin Larson, I'm a junior. Vincent Griffin, I'm a sophomore. Noah Hinchey, I'm a junior.
Dylan Curvis, I'm a sophomore. Carson Belts, I'm a sophomore.
Lonnie Jackson, I'm a sophomore.
Wow, that is great. And to see that you've got some backup coming next year, I'm glad to have that. As I tell Major and Sergeant Willis, we'll see y'all a lot. And we look forward to seeing you again next year, or those that are back. And I appreciate all you do, and you honor us, and you by your performance, and people know about Jefferson JROTC nationwide. All right, let's give them all a round of applause. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Miss Jenna.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll take some too, please.
Other people bring in trophies, but I don't think they'll bring in any bigger.
No, they're tall, big trophies.
They probably need a whole room.
That's right. All right, next we have our health science group with us. We have Laura Wilburn. Again, she has been in our presence before, and
Still
Tom
got her medal.
Parker. Yeah. That's right. So that's what I think is so great. And I was going to say this about the ROTC as well. I had an opportunity, Ms. Hardy and I had an opportunity when they did their annual evaluation, and so the cadets did their presentation. So we visited, and it's so impressive to see how involved our students are. And, not only are they in ROTC or they're in HOSA, but they're in many extracurricular activities. And so that is certainly something that we like to see, among our students. And I think that helps. I know they stay busy, but it helps contribute to their success too. So Ms. Wilburn and Mr. Parker will turn it over.
Quick, I just want to say a couple things before I turn it over to Ms. Wilburn and the students is that we want to recognize them for two things today. One is their industry certification, which comes from the State Department. It goes through Hometown Health, I think is it. And this is a voluntary action that you can take or not take. It's not required to have a health science program. And Ms. Wilburn headed this up for our staff in the health science department. And it's really just a stamp of excellence on your program. You're showing that you're doing everything to prepare kids to be ready for industry. And, in the way they do that, they have to show lesson plans. We have to go over equipment, all different types of things. And it takes about a year. And then the other part of that's when we want to recognize them is because of their HOSA chapter and how it's grown. Because one of the key elements is that you have to show that you have participation at the state level and trying to get kids to the national level, which we will have this year as well. And so we're just so thankful for Ms. Wilburn leading that department and really putting that on, because it's not an easy task. A lot of times I get some mean looks when I ask people to do this, but our staff always does a fantastic job of pulling through for us. And so she has a banner too, but she's already hung it up because she was proud of it. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Wilburn and the students.
Thank you for having us. Just like Mr. Parker said, industry certification is a stamp of excellence for our school. It shows that our program meets standards set by the industry and state. It shows that our students are proficient in skills and can enter into the industry at a level that meets requirements. So it's beneficial for our community as well, knowing that we have students that would meet those proficiencies and standards. So it was a long process, glad to be on the other side of it, and proud to have the support of the administration and the board through the process of just for our department in general to be successful in HOSA and our program as well. And so this is McKinley and Caroline, and I'll let them talk about the elite chapters a little bit.
Okay. Hi, I'm McKinley Parham. I'm the vice president of HOSA, and this year we got the bronze elite chapter, and basically what it is each chapter in HOSA, they must meet a certain criteria along the semester, and once they meet the criteria and the points, they get recognized. And so we achieved this, and this next upcoming year we hope to get silver.
I'm Caroline Whitaker, and I'm president of HOSA. And something I wanted to mention too, as Mr. Parker said, we have a student this year going to International Indianapolis, Her name's Emily Anderson, and she's a sophomore. She competed in event science at state and got first place. So we're really excited for her, and hopefully she can bring us a medal.
Right.
And I will say, speaking of how busy our students are, so Miss Wilburn, we asked her to, back in February in the middle of industry certification, she was gracious to work with our middle school healthcare instructor to do our presentation for Leadership Jackson. And so our students were able to lead different stations for that group. And so we certainly appreciate her willingness because she was in the final stages of trying to get that process, but they did a great job with that too. So thank you.
Thank you for that opportunity.
Yeah.
They did earn a grant with this certification, and so they were able to spend right about $13,000, $14,000 this year on new equipment. And so we got 2 new beds for the labs here, which allowed us to give newer beds to the middle school program. And then we also got some newer mannequins and some special sim mannequins, so to give them some specialized situations for them to practice those skills with. So, and that's, just showing them how unselfish they are. They could have took some of that money as stipends, but they turned it all over for equipment for the kids. So all 3 of the staff members did a good job with that.
Thank you.
Great.
That's fantastic.
Thank you. All right, our next group, we have some DAR art contest winners from the elementary school, and I know Miss Benson will be part of this presentation along with Miss Liz Wheeler.
As Ms. Wheeler said, just look at the art on the wall. That's what's so impressive with the school system. We appreciate art, and we have great art instructors. And I'm so pleased for these young second graders who participated in the Daughters of the American Revolution art contest. And what country's having a birthday this year? A big one. Yes. We're celebrating 250 years of America. And so they had to, Bear had a stamp design. And I think the post office needs to see this. I love it. And we have a banner, and it required at least 3 students or 4 to be on this team. And they have a beautiful banner that you could march in a parade. And then we have a poster that you could put around the school. And you did a great job. All of these students are first place winners for my chapter, which is located in Commerce, Georgia. And we have all of Jackson County and Banks County. So these are the top right here. And not only did these students, these 5, win first place in our chapter, I sent a copy by internet to the state, and we have state winners here. So I've got you a state certificate. I'm so proud of y'all. Preston Stanley, second place in the state. Okay. Timley Clark, second place in the state. Eleanor Lee, second place in the state. Sebastian, is that correct? Varela, second place on your poster in the state of Georgia. And, is your name Bear? Well, first place in the state of Georgia. Thank y'all, and the Board of Education. Thank this lady here, this instructor.
Yes.
And Ms. Joyner, thank you. Yeah, y'all want to turn in and show the audience? Let the parents take a picture. All right, one more round of applause.
Yes. I know, it's awesome. They do need to make that a stamp. That would be a great stamp.
Yeah, the little pepper girl from Tampa built a tag.
Oh, yes, I saw that. I love the tag. All right.
All right, we'll move on. Ms. Benson, I'll assign you to get that stamped as far as the post office.
Okay.
Okay, so our next item on the agenda is the financial report. Ms. Navis?
Moving to the general fund report. The general fund report represents 75% of our fiscal year, which ended on March 31st. You can see before you, fund revenue we received is $41,728,239, which is 76%. And then down below our expenditures, $38,937, so we're almost at 72%. And our fund balance at $11,678, $9.72. And I made notes on here. We had two adjustments in the month of March in the form of revenue and budget and expenses. We received our midterm adjustment from the state, and we earned an additional $187,046. And that was primarily due to problematic categories that we were able to earn some additional funds on. And then we also had the one-time $2,000 supplement. You remember hearing about Governor Kemp where they distributed those revenues out on March 26th. And that was $775,302. But then down below the next line item is the budget. So obviously we got money in the revenue, we reflected down in the budget, and we incurred those expenses. And so on the expense side of it, it was $963,188, because remember the state did not fund every position that we have. So they funded a majority of them, but it still left us, it was ironic, it was almost the difference of the midterm adjustment. It wasn't planned that way. And it was just almost kind of ironic that the difference between the state versus those expenses was almost that midterm adjustment. So anyway, so those supplements were paid out in the month of March. And I do want to highlight on here that they did release the financials efficiency star ratings, and Jefferson City School District earned a 4.5 out of 5 stars, which is impressive. And not only did we get that award, but that award is comprised of CCRPI, financial status and so forth, and all that kind of goes in. And they take an average over the past 3 years. So they look at 23, 24, and 25 when they're calculating and putting these ratings out. And just so you're aware that in those averages, Jefferson City School had the highest score for the least amount of money spent per student in the state. So out of 180 school systems, we spent the least amount of money, but we had the highest rating of any school system. And I know that's hard. Sometimes you say, okay, what are we giving up? But you guys in this administration and y'all out here, you figure out a way to make it work. And, when it comes down, when you're 86% salary and benefits, it always comes down to people. So thank you guys for making this work. Thank you for all you pour into this school system. And do it because everybody, has a passion for Jefferson City Schools. And so that speaks just as much about y'all and y'all's leadership and how we're moving forward. And like Brantley would say, we're the best bang for your buck as far as your tax dollars, because all of this is funded with tax money, whether it's state, local, or federal money. All of what we do is funded with tax revenue. So
Congratulations and thank you to you too.
Yeah.
it's a team effort. So kudos to y'all. So and then below that, I do want to just let you know that we are in the midst of our audit. I think I may have mentioned that the last time, but we're in the heat of that, and probably will be finished out around May timeframe, and then they'll work on finalizing reports. Probably won't come till summer sometime. So, and that's all on the general fund. So if we can go to the splash detail, or no, I'm sorry, special revenue report. Let's look at next time. Like I said, this report represents all the other revenue streams, which is our federal grants, school nutrition, and our pre-K program. And you can see before you the revenues we received to date and the expenses in those categories. Like I mentioned on the grants, we spend the money and we play catch up afterwards. Pre-K, those, like I mentioned to you guys, our revenue comes in 1/10 increments. So, we'll actually be a little ahead, but we'll have some expenses because we pay salaries over 12 months, right? So that's kind of ahead of the game, and then it'll catch out. And then school nutrition is running right on target. So we'll be in balance, and we have enough revenues to be able to afford those programs.
Do you have any questions about those?
And the next will be the splash detail report. This represents the past 3 months of expenses and revenues. And you can see before you the expenditures that we paid out of the splash account. Obviously, most of it resided up at you guys saw the pictures this last month of the baseball softball complex and the fencing and that work. I mean, it really looks like a park.
It looks so good.
It's a good representative of our school and all the hard work those coaches put. I think Mr. Parker will tell us they put in a lot of time and effort into their programs, and very proud of those facilities that y'all provide, as well as the Raider course, which I'm excited to see what the ROTC will do with that. You can see before you the revenue for Splashed. We were 5% lower than March of 2025. Obviously, we keep an eye on those, and our interest rate is up because our Splash balance is up this go around. So our fund balance was $14,807,388, which we're reserving the 8.2 for projects. So that leaves us kind of 6.1 or 6.6 for other typical Splash related expenses. Okay.
Anybody have any questions about that?
Yeah, and if I may say too, while we're patting each other on the back as far as finances, also a thank you to our community, because when you look at those prices that our team, Tom and Kim and Eddie and Russell, the prices that they get, you're talking about bang for buck right there on the March expenses, for example. That's pretty extraordinary. So thank you to our community too.
Absolutely, that's a great recognition. Yeah, Tom donated a lot on that project too. So, okay. All right, so we'll look at the splash projection report. I know it's a lot of little numbers, apologize. So anyway, this is just kind of taking a look at where we are and then where we're looking at going forward and what our average revenues are going to be looking like. I've been kind of advising us, we're almost reaching the end of the road of our 2022 referendum. And so that's when you see on this projection around probably the month of July is approximately when we're going to see that change in our percent allocation. And that's when the 2025 referendum will go into effect, which our percent is lower than what it is today. So, because it's based on total FTE counts within all 3 school systems. So overall, I mean, the account's doing well, and obviously, we got a lot of big projects still in front of us, so can't feel too comfortable about where we are today because we know what's coming down the road. So, okay.
Okay, any questions about the projection?
And then we'll look at phase 2. Believe it or not, we're in the home stretch, right, Carolyn? She's feeling it, and I know they're working on that cafeteria and finishing up one of the classroom lanes almost, right? They're getting close to that. So if we just kind of scroll down a little bit, we'll see at the bottom, based on our contract award, that we are sitting at 6.2 million left in the contract. The good news is, and I think we've been talking about this, that we have approximately around 2 million, a little over 2 million. You know, it's like one of those things, you don't want to say it too hard out loud because we still have things to finish up and you don't know when unforeseen things might come up. But as we obviously are getting closer, we're feeling really good about that. Now, like we said before, our plan is to use part of this then to have fun, which we just got, and Tom will talk about this a little bit later, the tennis court project, which we're working on some of the information on that. But the good news is we'll have sufficient funds to be able to support that project and potentially underrun overall. So that's great news as far as the middle school is concerned. Okay.
Any questions about that one on the middle school?
And then last but not least, the 2025 PDA account. Like I said, on this report here, I show, if we just kind of go over to the left side, Tom, a little bit, we'll start here and kind of work our way over. So this represents the months, and you're seeing, like you said, this kind of reiteration of the middle school project, what we've spent out of the PDA account, and like for the daycare, obviously we covered this multi-purpose facility, and then, you know, we spend a little bit on the high school architect, and I'm sure the other part that we just released, we won't probably see some of those expenses until around May timeframe. And if we go over to the far right, we'll see that we have a total expense paid to date of $33,910,000. Our total interest earned on this account is almost $3.2 million. So we are earning we were at like 4.4% interest on the LGIP account. So we ended the fund balance on this particular funding source at $79,019,021. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to address those.
Okay. Do I have any questions about any of those? Hearing none. Thank you.
All right. And then last, we'll just take a look at the utility report. You know, like I said, the middle school, you can see the electric consumption down a little. I don't know if that had to do more with construction not being as heavily utilized. But because, you know, we were in the midst of construction last year, so you have to kind of like think about what was happening in totality at the middle school last year to now. But overall, I mean, we're not looking bad when you think about the price and the extra square footage and so forth of our facility. That 8% off of where we were a year ago is not bad. The gas, obviously, the price per therm rate went up, so we're feeling the impact of that, even when our consumption is not a whole lot different. And then down in the area of water, we do have some increases at the middle school. That trend has kind of been continuing with the extra facility use. But overall, from a budget standpoint, we're on target. So. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to address those or look into it further.
Any questions? None. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Mr. Weaver's out driving, I guess.
Yes, all right. Tom, you're going to do his report.
That's right. So on here you can see with the fuel, as Ms. Navis just mentioned, it's caused an increase of that of almost a little over $9,000 from last month. The bus repairs, nothing that he said jumped out as anything but some just typical things that he had to work on. And so we did have increase of operation this month, and most of that was due to the gas. They are.
That means we'll have to budget, like, we're budgeting $20 million could be looking at like 120, 115, 120,000 in extra budget next year. If things don't change.
So he is, needs a couple of drivers right now, and he's looking at some different options on that and trying to work on getting those in there. Still running the same routes. You can see how hard they work there in March. 86 trips is just unbelievable. I think that goes back to what Dr. Devon said. Our kids they're out and about, they're doing stuff, and, athletics, arts, and academics, and so really impressive there, and already 37 with this. And then they'll be conducting a survey next week that will not impact any of the routes or the functions of the building. Functions of the department.
Mr. Huey, if you're going to drive a bus, now's the time. He's got 2 openings or 2 sub openings. So that's right. Yes, now's the time.
They don't pay enough.
I can connect you with Mr. Weaver.
Know about our insurance.
That's right.
All right.
Kid probably put me over.
That it, Tom?
Yes, sir.
Anybody have any questions about the transportation report? Here none, we'll go right along. I guess, Tom, you're gonna take the Sherry's here. Dr. Hicks.
Yes, sir. First we have, the Jefferson Diamond Day was held on March 31st. That was at Church, Southside Church. This is our second year to have that. We had 166 seniors there, and they had 12 different sessions to choose from, and each one of them chose 6. Tom, you want to fill them in a little bit on that?
Yeah, so another great day for our high school and for the CTA department and our community. Just a great support of that again. We ran all those kids through. Each session lasted about 25 minutes, and they had where they were able to choose 2 financial sessions, so they could choose investment, budgeting, those types of things, and then they had where they chose 4, just kind of practical things, so that they could choose car care, eating on a budget, college life, I don't want to go to school, how to get a job, resume building, interview skills, so they kind of were able to tailor that, and Ms. Drew did a fantastic job, and everybody got their first or second choice on how they selected it. So really good job of organizing that and getting it out. But got some great feedback from the students already. We sent out a survey and let them give us feedback, and they did a good job. Had some great suggestions for some things next year for us to look at adding. And so we'll take that as we start planning for them. And I do want to thank, Miss Savannah Hicks helped us with getting some of the food for lunch. We fed everybody and we gave them a t-shirt. B&T Foods helped with their vendors to get things donated, from the buns to the chips and other snacks with them. Coach Navis got the Coca-Cola to help give drinks. And so it was just a great day. A lot of people coming together. And the good thing is it's all people from our community that they, their parents may be doing investments with, or their parents may be buying cars with. So it was really, good to see those people come out, and they just enjoy it so much. And we do this day completely free. It does not cost them a dime. They just have to sign up, turn their forms in on time. That's it. And so we told them that's the first lesson they learned for adults. And so a really good day. So we appreciate Southside for hosting us, and them and some of our alumni. Chris Griffin and his plumbing school down there, they cook for us. And so
they cook for us.
Yep. And so they cook all the food for us, and they do a great job down there with Mastercraft Plumbing and the plumbing school down there.
All right, and then another big day for students in our system. We had Special Olympics today. It's also going to be tomorrow. It's being held at East Jackson County High School. And there's a huge send-off at the schools today. It was a big deal. Students lined the hallway and let them walk down the middle, so it was a big day for them. And we're going to have United Dragon Day next Friday, the 24th. That's going to be on the turf field like it has been in the past. And that's the day that's just for our Jefferson students. And we have 59 athletes that will be competing and then 100 student helpers. But on that day, there'll be events and games and bouncy houses and lots of fun things for them to do. Are you going to get them?
Sure, that is something that Trevor Metzger brought, and it is a fantastic event. So we'd love to have y'all visit if you have time. It starts at 10 o'clock on that day. The kids love it. It's kindergarten through 12th grade, so it's kind of a chance to see lots of students enjoy the day. And the only other thing I'd say is I know that Brantley mentioned community, and we talk about community and Diamond Day. The community does a fantastic job supporting that. Businesses, churches, people pour into that event. So it does not cost the students any money, but we would love to have you if you'd like to visit.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. at the church, yeah, that's when it starts. But it'll last anytime between 10 and 12. You can see some fun stuff, but it was the kickoff at 10 a.m.
Our bookmobile is planning summer routes like they have the past several years. They will be out and about on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, beginning June the 2nd through July the 16th. Lindy Powles spends time planning out these routes. She heads up the bookmobile work, and she has been working really hard on that. She uses reading data from the summer to see which routes she needs to take, which neighborhoods to go into. They will also visit the summer programs that we have at the elementary school and the academy. And they have special programming that happens at JES and JA on Thursdays. That's exactly like she did. She started that last year. She calls it How to Build Building a Dragon for the summer program. And so you see there the list of what each Thursday will entail, and it's all centered around that celebration of our country's signing of the Declaration of Independence. So I'm really excited about these events. Please take a minute to look down that list, and it's just a great program. In addition to that, she is planning 2 special days at our multi-purpose facility this summer. I think it might be called Fridays on the Field, although she might, I don't know exactly if that's the end-all name. She might have a more creative name than that, I'm not sure. But on June 12th and July 10th, Bookmobile is going to the multi-purpose outdoor facility to do some fun things with reading on those days. And that facility is just becoming a wonderful thing for our school system, and I think in the future for our community, because there's a lot of excitement around it, and literacy on the lawn or Fridays on the field, however we want to pose that to our community at large. It's going to be a good thing, so we're really excited about that. Couple of numbers I wanted to share with you. And these came from Lindy. She's as you know, Lindy Powles is the media specialist at the middle school. But she reported that in 2024, there were 672 books borrowed from the bookmobile. She used that data to try to come up with some good routes for last summer, 2025, where she had 1,476 books borrowed. I'm thinking that this summer, Ms. Guiding, we ought to have 1776. Tell her that she needs to make that her goal this summer.
And my 3rd grader likes the Wimpy Kid.
Wimpy Kid.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one went through our household also. Years ago. Miss Beckwith has been awarded, the Center for Early Learning has been awarded a grant of just over $100,000 for her summer transition program that she calls the Pre-K Jumpstart. She's going to have 4 classes, and she's going to have 1 Rising Pre-K Inclusion class with 12 students, 1 Rising Pre-K Dual Language class with 12 students, and then 2 Rising Kindergarten classes, each with 14 students. And Ms. Beckwith, did you want to add anything?
It's just a wonderful opportunity. The two rising pre-K classes are already full and people are calling me. The rising K, we hold some openings for after we hear about kindergarten roundup results, kids from the community who can benefit. But y'all, with that, the size of that grant, everything is provided. All the bus, all the food, all the activities. We're going to, the theme this year is going to be getting to know our community. We're going to go all around our community and take the kids out into the community to meet our community members. And then even school supplies for next year. Everything's provided for the parents. And so it's a great way to keep our kids active and involved over the summer so we don't experience that summer slump. It's hard to recover. Very exciting.
And then we had a joint school council meeting, which we don't have those a lot, but because we try to make sure that when we pull all school councils together, it's for a very important meeting, and we did that in COVID. We did that this past Monday because we wanted to sit down and talk to them about the Distraction-Free Education Act. So we discussed what was actually written in the law. We discussed the research behind that. Abby Jefferson did a wonderful presentation for them to talk about that research. And then we also talked a little bit about the procedures for next year, had some input from them about things that we need to keep in mind. So we really thought that was a very successful meeting. That included parents and teachers from all 4 buildings. And then our big field trip returned. World War II came back on Tuesday. Ms. Hardy, would you want to speak to that at all?
Yes, they had a great trip, good weather. I think Ms. Richmond correct me if it's one day raining. Yes, so Mr. Pitter said that was the best weather he's had in a really long time, so y'all must be living right. Yeah, great trip. Only one little mishap with the passport, but they figured that out, so good.
And
they brought Mr. Pitter back safely.
And our 5th graders returned from Washington, D.C. On last Friday.
Yes, and this was my first time going on the trip with our 5th graders, and it was a packed trip. We do everything and anything that you can think of in D.C. Mount Vernon, Holocaust Museum, Arlington, all the things. But I was just so impressed with our kids and our parents, the way they handled themselves at all locations, but especially when we were at Arlington and the Holocaust Museum. Those are 2 places that I'm sure our 5th graders can make the right choices, and they were very respectful and understood, and I was just very pleased overall with the trip. But I think everybody had a great time. And the worst thing that happened was we got back to the parking lot and one mom's battery was dead in her car, and we fixed that quickly. So it was a great trip.
That's great.
Thank you. And then lastly, Ms. Story has technology updates.
All right, so the technology department is getting ready for milestone testing later this month. And then later on in the meeting, we'll have an action item for your consideration to replace servers. Currently, our servers are 9 years old and are the heart of our business operations.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Hicks. Also, I'll give Ms. Richmond time to explain her viewpoints on the trip to World War II trips. She went as a chaperone this year, and I'm going to give her an opportunity to go into whatever she'd like to say about it.
Thank you. My roomie's over there too, Jody Stevens. We were chaperones together and roommates through the whole trip. It was fantastic. Our students were also so respectful. They were great followers. They represented Jefferson so well. I was just really impressed with all of them. Mr. Pittard is one of a kind, as he says. That there's signs all over, and even if you can't read them, they say, "Mr. Pittard, what a guy!"
What a guy!
And he is. He's amazing. He really is a wealth of knowledge. There's no one quite like him, and he knows so much. And it was just a great pleasure. Thank you for allowing me to go as a board member and as a chaperone. I know that it's usually teachers, administrators, and I just can't believe that I had the opportunity to go. It was just amazing. So thank you, and
Thank you for going.
we've got to keep it going. It's worth every penny, all the effort. Great trip.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody on the board have any questions? It's time to grill her about what she actually did.
Sorry, you've got a couple of hours.
I always remember what Dr. Smith would say on a report on the World War II trip. He said, we thought it was really well, but we'll wait and see what comes out on social media.
Yeah. Yeah. They were great.
Okay. Now going to action items.
All right.
Let's see, let me get over there.
We've got the facilities report
Yeah,
before we
facilities
go into
report
there.
first. Yeah. I'm just been talking so much, I just skip over.
Skip me as well. Right here, you can see on the middle school, as it's been mentioned, we're starting to wind down over there. So a lot of these are just kind of last minute things, except for the kitchen. But I do bring attention to the cafeteria furniture, where there will be an action item that we'll recommend in a minute from a company called Amtab. We've got the color selection completed and all that, and so we will make that recommendation. As that, we'll have a lot of pictures to see of that. 8th grade hall has been turned over. They're working through that punch list and staying out of the way of our kids, so they will be done with that. We kind of get out of school. 6th grade, which is the last wing that was renovated. They're to that point now where they're almost to the punch list. You can see that they're working on finishing up over there as well. Cafeterias, where they've been spending the most time at, and per usual, Harold Daniel and Case and Thurman over there, they took and did 95% of that demo work over spring break, so they would not affect our building this night. And so we really appreciate them working. I think you told us today that they put in about 80 hours that week in order to get all the heavy machinery and the loud noises out of there. So you can also see that they were able to get all the fire alarms back up where we would be in compliance and so forth. And they have put up temporary walls where they're behind that to keep that separated from our students over there. Next 2 weeks, they'll just be doing punch list, and even the 6th grade hall will be into the punch list as well. And then the cafeteria will be moving right along. You can see they'll be finishing up with some of the flooring. When we show the pictures here in a second, you can see how much it opened up and over that. And they'll be putting in the new stage. We're moving it around a little bit, and then just kind of finishing up on those foundations and waterproofing some of the steel, which you can kind of see in this picture where they're going to be taking out some. So making great progress over there as we move through that. Ms. Knight, anything that you'd like to add from over there?
It looks so much bigger, the cafeteria.
Yes, I'm going to pull that up right now so we can look at it on these pictures here. So you can see here these pictures of the cafeteria right here. And this is looking back from kind of in the corner over there. This is looking back to your to the middle right there is where the old office used to be. You're looking at the old front entrance right there. And so you can see how it's opening up and where those steel holes are right there. That's where the old wall used to be. And so it's going to really open it up. This is looking back toward the new gym, kind of looking back from that corner over there. You can see how much wider that is, but you can see some of the heavy work that has to be done down in there as far as moving some utilities and some of those types of things in there. So definitely not just cosmetic what they have to do over there. Here's another picture, this is kind of looking down where the old hallway would have been right here. And you can see going out the back side of the gym, that would have been the double doors over there of how much that has come off right there, opening it up. And this looking back toward the kitchen. So this is from the kind of the atrium area, kind of looking back toward the kitchen. That's the one that makes it look so big, in my opinion. Almost looks double the size there. And so really going to be a great space for Ms. Knight. They spent many years not eating everybody in there, so they're going to get to here pretty soon. So I'll go ahead and show a couple of pictures they have of the multi-purpose We'll go through some of the things they did here, but you can see they were able to get the Diamond J emblems up on either end. Very clean looking, you know, as we were talking, not too dominant, but just enough to showcase that brand for us. And then up under here, you can see where the foam was completed on the ceiling to reduce condensation. And then it's hard to see in there, but there is the rough end of the lighting and electrical in there. And then on the other end, as it's all starting to blend together, the paint is coming back this way right here. So making good progress on that as well. So as I mentioned, with the multi-purpose, you can see that the spray foam is done, electrical's on its way, and the side panels are already at 50%. He updated us on that day, and they're working on that paint in the next 2 weeks. They will be almost complete with electrical. They should be outside the building at that point, just working on the exterior, finished with all metal side panels, and then completed with both coats of paint right there. So making along there, and then they'll start on the gutter, which they've already started. Phase 2, which is over here on this property, you saw as you were coming in the front, we got some fencing going up, and they're going to continue to do that. In the next couple of days, I'll also have silk fences up as they start preparing for that site work. And so over the next, about a week and a half, 2 weeks, they will be getting still prepped for those things. And then once they do their next meeting with the company that won the bid, then they'll start working on that down there. Should have minimal effects on the high school and its traffic up there, maybe just some here and there with those types of things. But it's going to start moving over here pretty soon. Just want to give a couple updates, and I'll have some pictures of these. The projects, I'll show you some concrete restoration that y'all approved a couple months ago at JA and Dragon Nest and here at the high school. Tree removal that we did at Jefferson Academy. The roof replacement was completed. And then I want to give a quick update on the tennis courts and lights renovations. As Ms. Navis mentioned, all bids were completed on Monday. And so we were still trying to make sure that everything was covered in all those. So we did not put those on this for an action item this week. But we did confirm with them they'll still be able to meet our timelines. They come well below what we predicted. So we're going to not have to look at taking all of that contingency money, which is a good thing for us. And so, and as you'll remember, that will be complete redoing of the surfaces, the fencing, the lighting, the netting, and all that over there. So it's going to really kind of fit with everything else that's been done over there. And so we'll be able to talk about that more at the next meeting, how that is action. Last thing, I'll turn it over to Russ before I show some pictures to make this update. Our 30-day report here that has 117 work orders created and a 74.4% completion rate. And lots of air conditioners starting to pop up from what I was looking on there, and a lot of plumbing. And so those were kind of the two high areas I noticed.
I'm worried that Russell and his crew is going to run out of something to do.
Yeah.
You said yeah.
I'll say this, I looked at it from, I think it was February the 18th that we went full go on it. They're standing at about almost 85% completion rate, so we appreciate that, Russell.
Still liking School Dog app.
It's easy to use. I mean, we can just get everybody to use it. I'm still entering about 30 to 40% of the work orders myself. So that's the big thing. Just getting for everybody.
It'll count.
Anything else?
Appreciate it, Russell.
Somebody go.
So that other 26% there, probably the time spent doing work for
Those are stacked up in the van, right? That you got to enter.
Good. Anything else you want to add?
No.
Okay. I'll show a couple of pictures here. This is the old entrance into the playground at the academy. You can see here it's kind of broken up. And so what we did is we repaired all that. You can see that's the entrance. And that's what y'all approved right there. And this next area is what the Academy's PTO approved as part of their projects right here. And they added this so they could give access to this swing down there for all the students that are over there. So great little project for everybody right there. I'll show you at the end with how the trees look and open it up. Here on the right, you can see the old curbing at the Dragon's Nest, and then on the left, you can see the new curbing. The guy called that was doing this project called Eddie and said we didn't even have to use the jackhammer and sledgehammer. We just used a shovel and it just crumbled right into that. So I asked him for that discount. So, and then here's just another picture from another angle. On the right again is the picture of the old, and on the left is on the left. I switched these up, make sure everybody's paying attention. It's the old. It's so funny when you try to get these to sit together. You can't go on the right side. Is the old behind the media center coming in? That's not a part of the high school project, so we felt good about doing that. And then you can see the new on the right. And then here's top is would be trees, the old before we did the renovations, and on the right, taking it out. So you can see we still left trees inside the chain fence area right there, but we did get them back behind those and off of the top of where a lot of kids would be playing, so there would be any limbs falling. And then you can see here, we were able to get a good picture this morning of the path cleaned and all that. And it's a great little entry where they can walk around and kind of see how they didn't take away any play area really to get that pathway in. They really came in at a good angle there. So a lot of concrete right there and great price for that. And then the last thing is we had our roof redone over at the central office, and you can just see we finished up the main building and also took care of the garage building over there. So I was over there with them a couple of days in spring break, and they were doing just as they should. There was some rotted wood up there, and they were cutting it out and took care of all those spots for us. So we appreciate them. And I'll say this about the concrete, just a lot of thank yous to you all over the break from our staff. Very thankful for y'all approving those areas, because we get texts of being thankful for y'all allowing that to get fixed at their sites. So thank y'all.
I know we're out of money, so you're through.
I don't know, Miranda still got time.
All right, so thank you, Tom. Now we'll go to action items.
Yes, we have 3 action items. The first one is to approve the purchase of a server, and we have a quote. Actually, Miranda received quotes from 3 separate vendors. This is necessary due to the aging equipment, and again, this is, puts us, situation from a safety security standpoint with the equipment being of that age. Miranda, do you have anything else you want to add about this specifically? The amount is from Lockstep and total $120,807.97. Will you just kind of briefly tell what that includes?
Yes, so that includes 3 servers and software that allows us to do virtual servers so that we can maximize our versus having to purchase a server for every single case we need. And Lockstep came in with a 3-year quote on the software. The other 2 quotes you'll see, they're more, but they only have 1-year software license on there. So we feel very good with going with this company's quote with the 3-year license. And they're the exact same servers, so they're basically apples to apples comparison for the quotes other than the license.
Do you have any questions about the servers? Okay, you want to explain to us what they do? They don't need to explain it. Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions? This was the lowest bid.
Yes, that's correct.
Shipping and travel. All right, we looked over this, and you make this in the form of recommendation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We have a recommendation from superintendent that we enter into contract to buy this equipment, the value of $120,807.97. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Again, any other questions or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by that lifted hand. Thank you. All right.
All right, next we have approved purchase of JMS cafeteria tables. So with a bigger, more beautiful building or cafeteria space, you have to have tables and some seating. So this is, we have bids from 2 vendors. A third vendor elected not to bid, and the quote, the least expensive was $112,532.56, and this is from a company called Amtab. So I would like to recommend you approve the purchase of this equipment for the new middle school cafeteria.
Okay. Kim, we pay for that through the SPLOST money, Kim. All right. Anybody have any questions about that? Here's none. All those that would like to make a motion, please do.
May I so move?
Is there a second? Second. Motion and a second. Now again, any other questions? The total is $112,532.56. All those in favor signify with that lifted hand. Thank you.
All right, and then the last is to approve fundraising requests. So as we spend money, we've got some people who want to make some money. And the first, we have one from the middle school, and this is a new fundraiser, and it is affiliated with our bookmobile program, and it's just to basically almost like a book fair during the summer. And so we would like to recommend approval of that one. And then you've got a few athletic ones over on the other side. These are basically our summer camps that our coaches provide opportunities for students during the summer. And so those are, basically customary events that we've done in the past. So I would like to recommend that you approve these requests from the middle school and the high school athletic department.
All right. You see those requests, and you make these in the form of a recommendation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And the recommendation of the superintendent to have a motion that we approve all of these fundraising requests.
Motion.
Have a motion.
Second.
A motion and a second. Now again, any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by that. Thank you. Looks like we've got every sport covered.
Coach Lawrence is expecting a lot of young ladies at her camp. That expected profit.
All right. All of those taken care of. Now we have a chance for public comment. If anybody has any public comment. Now's your time.
Anything to say?
All right. Here's no public comment. We'll move right on we're going into executive session, but before we go, I'd like to hear from all of the school. And Ms. Hardy, we'll let you start.
Baseball, Utah Region Championship, they'll start state playoffs next Friday. The first 2 rounds will be at home, which is great for us. Spring signing for a lot of athletes, I think 16 next week during our fire time during the day. Prom is Saturday. Any volunteers? Nope, okay. I'll be all there if you want to. Prom is Saturday in Athens at the High Press, but it's always twilight, so I think it's going to be quite busy Saturday. I just found this out just this week that our jazz band, he's putting on a concert next Tuesday for the 2 jazz band, the fire, he calls them by fire, red fire and blue fire. That'll be Tuesday here. And then we're getting started on senior recognition. So April 30th, we'll be doing a cord ceremony, which that recognizes students who have finished the pathway at CTAE, academic, foreign language. I think out of the 337 seniors, about 300 of them have received a pathway, which is a great accomplishment. So we're going to recognize those on the 30th in the arena that evening. And then we're starting something new with it. It's called a Senior Fest. It's where they're going to get their yearbook distribution, do the inflatables, and there's 3 food trucks provided by the Jefferson Church. They'll be there that evening too. So they'll be at the Memorial Stadium that evening. So.
Very good.
And this was part of you said the sunrise sunset,
Yes.
which is a neat thing for seniors.
In the fall, they did a sunrise to start the school year, and then they'll do a sunset at this event. So it's 6 to 8:30. So. Yes, I got up at 6. We're busy time at the high school.
Always busy time. Ms. Ferguson, tell us about the academy.
Sure. So we have, it's hard to think that before spring break to be in the same month, but that was also April. So we had some really exciting things right before spring break. We had our career day, which Tabitha Riley planned. You know, this was her first year doing that career explorations specials, and so she took over career day, and she did a phenomenal job. She had the idea to have our students dress up as the career that they hope to one day have, and it was so cute. My own daughter came home and said, "Mommy, I have to have a blazer." So we found her a blazer. But it was great. We saw just all different pathways were represented. She had them organized so that the kids could know, in this area, I'm going to see people from the healthcare pathway. In this area, ag. So it was just a really wide variety that we got to experience. And then that night, we had an event that was new for our PTO, a color run. And it was really just a fun community event, very low cost, really just to cover the cost of the items. But we had food trucks, music, we had an inflatables race with 3 administrators. I made one. Shut myself out there. There was video.
I was going to say, we want to see that picture.
So that was really a really fun way to go into spring break. And then since we returned, you know, just full speed ahead, getting ready for milestones. We are just working hard on keeping our routines as normal as we can. With that being said, we have Champs graduation tomorrow and Special Olympics tomorrow, so we're excited about sending those kids off the right way tomorrow morning. And then before the month is over, we will begin milestones.
Very good. Thank you. Ms. Joyner?
All right. Well, right before spring break, we wrapped up another successful Dragon Dash. And we are currently just waiting for those funds to get transferred from our PTO account to our account, so we can spend them.
Have you got our account number on there?
We promised, you know, a turf field, soccer field on the playground with playground equipment. So we're just waiting to see how much money we have left after we pay teachers and spend. But if we have anything left, we'll share.
All right, good.
Don't hold your breath. Our first grade came over to the high school, and we were able to watch the drama club perform Cinderella. That was tied to first grade curriculum. That's my first grade was the only grade that came. And they had a great time. It was a good show. We have had, right before spring break, we had lunch and literacy on the lawn. We had 3 gorgeous days and 700 parents that showed up for lunch. It was perfect weather, perfect time, and we were excited to get in. And I want to introduce to you Officer Diaz. Aiden Diaz is our new SRO at the elementary school, and we don't ever want him to leave, so please do whatever you can to keep him. He has been amazing. And on day 2, he came in to our first lunch and literacy on the lawn, and he and Trevor, he parked cars like a boss out there. And they had those parents coming in and going out quickly. It was wonderful. So He's been amazing. He's been very present in our building, settling in, getting to know everyone, making everybody feel safe, and he's just been such a huge help to us, and we're very excited and thankful and grateful to have him. He's top notch. You want to say anything?
No, just happy to be here.
Good.
Kind of thinking about why I didn't do it sooner.
Well, we're glad to have you.
Yeah.
This past Tuesday night in the PAC, we had our kindergarten music performance, and we had 2 performances at the grade level, and they did a night of nursery rhyme fun. And we had a huge turnout. It was great. Probably, I would say 70-75% participation, students and parents. So we were very pleased with that.
Sure.
We don't get them that many to come when we have like math night or literacy night. So we're going to let the kids perform from now on at every activity we have. It was so adorable. Yesterday we had a faculty meeting, and it was a kickoff for our 4th quarter. And we really want to motivate teachers so to serve blizzards. But also they were able to collaborate, work together, and kind of talk about what strategies have worked so far and what they need to boost coming up. And they talked about behavior management, instructional strategies, and communication, and it was great. And then Ms. Beckwith has been so amazing. We have been working really hard, as some of you know, on kindergarten roundup. It's just we struggle in the summertime when we don't have a lot of registrations in kindergarten, knowing how to plan and field rosters, and it gets kind of stressful once July comes, and that comes really quickly. So we pushed really hard with pre-K to get pre-K to go ahead and register, and we're at like a little over 200 if we count all applications so far, and that feels so good. So she's worked with our teachers, and they've developed a flyer about readiness and what we would like for kindergartners to come being ready for kindergarten, not the top students, but just your average kindergartner. And they just created a beautiful flyer that she helped us get printed, and she even picked it up today for us. So we're excited to give that to rising kindergarten parents for them. We do screeners with students, upcoming students next week, 2 evenings. And we have teachers volunteering to screen those students, and then we'll have rising kindergarten night where we'll talk to parents and kind of let them know what's going on and pass out those flyers. So it's just been great.
That'd be great. Thank you. Ms. Knight, spit out the construction dust and tell us what's going on over there.
We are so excited to just see the progress being made, and so thankful for just the cooperation of everybody. Stan has done a great job with the cafeteria staff and getting people fed without a little kitchen or cafeteria to have lunch in, and I think we're making it pretty good there. It's been great, and today we had the 5th graders come over and walk through the building. We had to do it a little bit differently than we usually do, but it was fun to see their faces and watch them look through the building and see all the things. Our 8th grade is on the way home from Six Flags right now, so they should be home in about 20 minutes. Everybody on the bus got safely. That makes me happy. We, right before the break, celebrated the 250th year celebration of the United States, and we had to create. I've seen our social media posts. It was a lot of fun. Elaine Murphy headed that up for us and did a great job with different days, dress-up days, and what she had each social studies teacher teach about the founding of our country. That was pretty special for us. The Color Guard came over and did a performance, sort of to recruit recently, like everybody else. We have a lot of stuff going on, but a lot of good stuff.
Good stuff going on.
Yes, sir.
That 250th celebration was fun to watch on video. And I like Creedence Clearwater Revival as her background music too.
Ms. Beckwith, fire away.
Thank you. Things are going great to have in pre-K. Tomorrow when we surveyed our parents, they said they'd like little quick tip videos for parenting, like behavior tips. So tomorrow we're dipping our toe in. I have 8 teachers who have volunteered to put out 8 videos, and we've got a videographer from UGA coming up to do the filming, and we came up with a great name. We think it's called Small Steps, Strong Dragons. So Small Steps, Strong Dragons. So we'll see, they may be terrible, and they may end up just saying we learned a lot, or they may be okay, but we're willing to try. Also, it's career day tomorrow. We've got Officer AD to help us out. Fire trucks are coming, so the little ones always enjoy that. And near the end of the month, Liz French is bringing the bio bus over, and parents are going to be able to plant a seed with their children on the bio bus. So just making good use of that, and then we'll be going to the outdoor classroom as well. So lots of fun things happening in pre-K. Just sad to think about them leaving. They have come so far. It's been a really exciting year.
That's great. Thank you. And I heard the information there, working on getting a new set for next year.
Yeah,
A new group.
We're doing well.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Ms. People.
So I already shared the most exciting about United Dragon Day Special Olympics, and I get to Dr. Miss Beckwith now, so this is gonna be not quite as exciting. But just some updates in the areas of special education. I know you know the milestones is coming up, but we also have students who are taking alternate content and alternate assessments, and that is happening right now. That is a pretty big undertaking. Our staff, our principals, of course, are supporting that with staff that have to help with that, but that is literally one-on-one with the students. Some may be able to do 15 minutes in a session, and some can do longer, but that's happening right now in 3 of our buildings. We have preschool outcomes and post-school outcomes, so I don't know if you've ever heard about that, but all of our high school special education teachers are contacting the seniors that graduated last year for post-school outcomes to find out, are they working, have they gone to school, like what are they doing? That's information we have to turn into the state, so that's going on right now. And then on the other end, preschool, they collect some data when they enter, and then they have to collect data as they leave us to go into kindergarten that we also have to report to the state. So not as exciting as Special Olympics, but
Well, I was impressed when you said that you had more student aides or helpers than the actual students, and I was.
Yes, sir. Alex Foley and Walt Massey do a great job with that. Ms. Hardy does a fantastic job supporting that. There's a lot of students out of her building on that day. Keep in mind those students have some of our most significant needs. So they all are paired with a high school buddy, and then the high school students run all of the stations that we have going on. So it's really something cool to see. But they, Trevor had that idea, and it was more hands on deck, I think, the first few years, but all I have to do this year is serve snow cone.
Well, that's good.
So come get a snow cone. They did a great job making that. And a great job supporting that.
Very good. Thank you. Ms. Hicks, tell us about the foods. The scones were wonderful. Let me just share that first. I've heard several people say those are my favorites, but I'm the first one to say that.
I'm very glad to hear. I'll try to have some cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, Mr. Huey wants cinnamon rolls.
For next time. But we are moving right along in school nutrition. I spent the majority of my time supporting my middle school staff as we transition post-spring break. Pre-spring break, it was all hands on deck. I really appreciate my staff being willing to do that Friday. And this night, we were able to provide some assistance from the wrestling team, which was very much appreciated. We moved a lot of equipment right before we got out, and now coming back. Again, I just want to say thank you again this night for giving us that classroom that has made serving the kids very streamlined, and they're doing a great job over there.
Very good. Thank you. All right, before we go into executive session, anybody else have any information or questions? All right, hearing that, do I have a motion to go into executive session for personnel?
Move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor, signify by that motion. Thank you very much. We'll go into executive session.